Okay, so to begin the Oslo stitch and the cast on, you want to start with a small slip stitch like that. And I'm going to put the working yarn between my thumb and my forefinger, and I'm going to hold the slip stitch between my thumb and my finger like that. And we'll call it a halo. I've heard it called that because it kind of rests above if your thumb were ahead, it kind of just goes above there. So taking that, I'm going to take my needle here, there, and go from front to back, turn and go underneath the working yarn, all the while holding on to the halo. Now this yarn here is going to snug up on my thumb. So now I've got the working yarn is tied on my thumb and the halo's over top. Now we're going to start actually doing the cast on. So again, working from front to back, go under the halo, turn and go down underneath the one on my thumb and underneath the working yarn. Slipped out. And don't worry about the tail. The tail I should have held onto with my fingers, which I'll do there. Okay, so now I'm going to slip the previous halo. The previous one on my thumb is now the new halo, and this one that I just made is on my thumb. I'm going to move a little bit closer here. Okay, so front to back, twist underneath thumb and the working yarn, slipping the thumb one up to become the new halo, and then pulling this one down. Again, that doesn't help. Front to back, twist, and through here, slipping that one up. Should have better lighting in here. I just like the natural light. Again, front to back, turning underneath both the thumb one and the working yarn, sliding the thumb one up and over top. At this point, you can give the tail a tug and it starts to straighten out the previous stitches. Okay, so just making sure I'm still on the screen. Front to back, around and through and up. Front to back, turn down underneath these two, sliding this one up and through. Now keep doing that, another 20 sometimes, and then we'll create a loop, and then I'll show you how to connect the loop and go on from there. My sister showed me this in 48 seconds. I am not kidding. I don't know how she did it. This seems to take me much longer. Anyway, thank you, and on to the next step. Okay, so now I've got a whole row of stitches here. This is what they look like. Wrong way, this way. And now what I'm going to do is attach this piece to this piece. I'm just going to bring it around here. I'm just doing a little loop. This isn't something that I would do for anything in particular. It just is because I'm doing a demo. So I have just a tiny bit of yarn left, and I'll have to add on, which is an easy kind of a felty thing to do. Now I'm going to line this up with my halo and the other end, and I'm going to go with the same method, the top loop. These are wonderful. Take the top loop, and take this top loop, and this one, going through both. Now I've slipped it off, whoops, and I'm going to pull, and now I'm attached. So now I just I've joined the two here, and I'm going to use my working yarn, the one that I snug here, and my thumb, and then I am going to be forever now on connecting the uppermost loop. You can see the forward loop because it goes over top of everything else, and going in and under these two. So that will be the method right there. But first I have to re-thread this. Okay, not to be. And the neat thing about nalbinding is that you, unlike knitting or crochet, that if you miss a stitch, it all comes unraveled. There's no laddering with this. In fact, it's almost impossible to undo it. So here we are. I've attached it. We go through my upper thread here, one here, and twist and go underneath it too, slip it up, push that through. And now I'm going to go through the next one, which is here, here, and underneath these two. And I snug that up. And now I've run out of space. But fortunately, I can just drop this. It's not going to come unraveled. I've got these two loops here. I know that this one goes over my thumb, and this one goes over my thumb, and this one is underneath. So that when they're together, just kind of put your thumb in there, and that's how it ends up. And what I'll do with this end is take another meter or so, meter and a quarter of the seam yarn, kind of wet both ends, and then rub them on my leg to kind of felt them together. So I'll do that in just a moment. All right, so I have this tiny little end left on my needle. So again, my working yarn is in between, up, front to back through the new loop, front to back through the halo, twist and go underneath the thumb loop, the halo, and the working yarn. So you're going underneath. Now you can do it a different way where you're excluding that or leaving two on your thumb. That's a different stitch. So I mean, you can just experiment with it and you'll go, oh, I did it this way, and then you'll find out, oh, that stitch has a different name. But so this is how it goes. And I'll do a few more here and kind of show you the results. It is super gorgeous and sunny on Salt Spring today. I have a knot that is developed here. This is not what I wanted. So kind of on the thumb will look like that. And then on the front side, it'll look like that. So I'm going to continue on for a little bit more. And we'll just leave it at that. You'll have the Oslo stitch kind of down in no time. My first project rather, was a bracelet made of Oslo stitches because I just made a little loop. Now there is a way that you can go into the flat and kind of go into a circle, but for now, this is the most common way to do it, as a ring, starting with a ring. And then we could go into how to start as kind of a circle into a daisy, so you're going spiraling out. In any case, this is the beginnings. Oh, can you see that? It looks like Celtic knots, and I suspect that that's where it all came from. I think that Celtic knots and Norwegian knotting artwork is just instructions on how to do your nalbinding. All right, good luck with that.